Hello, hello.
Hey,
We are live.
we are live. We are live here in this wonderful May, springtime. Hope the weather's good where you are.
Yeah, it's gorgeous here in Wisconsin. It was like perfect temperature all day.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
We've had the first day of cool weather in a while here in Seattle. Little not quite raining, but misty drizzle. But kind of welcome. But wore long sleeves for the first time in a few times. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Um,
I was in, sleeveless until the sun went down and then it got a little bit
okay.
chilly.
So,
Here we are.
yes, we are here. Okay, so craft.
Craft.
We're being crafty this time.
Craft.
Not very
Yeah.
crafty.
And unfortunately, apparently I forgot to do any of the things that I usually do. So we only have 3 films this month because the meetup page was not updated, which I didn't realize at all until I was just informed. So next month,
yeah,
will be better. I'll update all that tonight once we find out the new theme for next month.
The new theme, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't updated the skateboard wheel yet, but I think I'll just risk it and hopefully we won't get craft again.
Hope
So
for the best.
yeah.
Right. Well, we've got all of our filmmakers backstage here.
Yeah.
So
all 3 of them.
we can get going with this screening. So welcome everyone who's tuning in on YouTube for another awesome crafty screening.
So tell YouTubers, anyone who's new, what this is all about.
Yeah, so anyone who hasn't joined us, Minute Movies is a monthly group. We're filmmakers who make movies about a minute long, inspired by a word. And this month, that word is craft. So it can be any word, and you'll have to stay tuned till the end of the screening to find out what next month's word is. And hopefully, you'll join us and either make a minute movie or just come watch again on the 3rd Sunday of the month. So June is the 18th, which I believe is Father's Day. It always lands on a Father's Day, it seems. So, yeah, well, shall we get started with the first film of this month?
We should join, bring Kirk in.
Let's see. I'm just pulling up the order here. So we have Kirk, then Pete, then Warner.
Yeah.
All right, Kirk, I'm bringing you on.
Hey, how's it going?
Hello. Good. How are you?
Doing good. I'm actually in St. Augustine, Florida right now.
Wow. So
yeah,
people all over the place.
Wedding.
Okay.
Well, congratulations.
Is it pre-wedding yet, or is it already happened?
Yeah, the wedding happened yesterday. So
okay. I hope it all went well.
It did. Yeah. Good. So it was a huge relief to have that, go well.
Seems like there's always something that happens at a wedding that's unexpected.
Well, as long as they're married at the end of the day, that's what really matters, right?
Yep.
All right. So do you have anything you want to say about your film before we get going?
I guess the only thing I'll say is that I missed last month. I was crazy busy that month. And so I made this originally for Shift, but it worked quite well for Craft as well.
It does.
And so it's kind of for both.
Awesome. Yeah, it's always amazing how you can make a film for one word and then it's perfect for the next word as well.
So you're very crafty in your shift to the next topic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, should we take a peek at it? Or do you want to
Sounds
say
good.
something more about it? Okay.
No, I don't think so. I think just going into it blind is good.
Nice. All right. That was exciting. Yeah.
I've never watched a car be driven in that in that sort of style, that angle of yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to catch those 3 different shots to show the because you might have noticed that in downshifting, the driver and I say that because I'm because the speed limit was exceeded by a bit.
Yeah.
I'm reluctant to I'm reluctant to formally acknowledge who the driver was or where exactly that was, but the driver in downshifting is double clutch downshifting.
Yeah.
And wanted to kind of demonstrate that in it. And the greatest inspirations for the film were the 1966 film Grand Prix, which um, had similar shots, although not all transposed like that. And also the titles for that movie by Saul Bass, who was the guy that did the titles for all the Hitchcock films. He would focus on one thing of pre-race mechanics or whatever, and then duplicate that across the screen multiple different times for artistic effect. And just that idea of having multiple different things up on the screen at the same time was kind of influenced by the title sequence of that film. The other influence I would have to say would be C'était un Rendezvous, the French film, French short film. It's something like 8 minutes long or something like that. That was made in, I want to say, 1975. That was a similar concept. So basically, the director, driver, producer bought a camera, bolted it to the front of his Mercedes, and just drove all out down through the streets of Paris. And during the summer months when a lot of people would be on vacation, and in the early morning when fewer people would be out. And it ends with him leaving, parking, leaving the car, and then embracing, a young woman. It's the title of the film. It was a rendezvous, or meeting.
Well, definitely give us a sense, a feeling of being in the car with you, or whoever that was driving. Driving fast, a little bit of anxiety, creation. I felt the anxiety of driving, of being in the car with somebody who's driving fast.
Yeah. It's funny you should say that. I was showing this to a friend of mine just yesterday, and they asked me, "Is this supposed to make you feel anxious?"
Yeah.
Like you're driving fast and you can see all of the different things that the driver has to keep track of.
Yeah.
And
I wanted to see the speedometer though.
Well, so I can tell you a couple of things. The route was 2.2 miles. It was supposed to take 5 minutes. It took 2 minutes and 45 seconds. At 5 minutes. If it had taken 5 minutes, then the average speed would have been 26 miles an hour. At 2 minutes and 45 seconds, the average speed was 48 miles an hour. The top speed was approaching 80.
Okay. So this segues into Kenny G's question in the comment section. Have we lost the concept of a minute movie? But we're as we all know, we're very it's a suggestion, not a and
Well, and so my recollection of the rule was that it's supposed to be 2 minutes and 15 seconds or shorter.
Right.
Yeah.
15 seconds being of credits. And so this does exceed that by, a good percentage, but not as bad as one might think if the assumption was that it was actually supposed to be a minute.
No,
Yeah.
I know. That's
Yeah.
true.
It
Yeah,
was.
so people think minute and they get very literal about that, but we're just,
Yeah. Seattle 2.5, or
got a
not
minute?
Seattle
No.
anymore, but 2 minute 15-second movies is not the catchiest title.
Not quite as catchy as Minute Movie.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Warner asked how. Yeah, a couple things.
Yeah.
The first thing was vintage E33 series. Was that?
He might be referring to the vehicle in use for Cité and Rendezvous, which I forget which model of Mercedes was in use, because the other thing about that film is that they foleyed in all the vehicle sounds
really?
from race car to make it seem even more dramatic.
Yeah.
This the vehicle that you see in this short is a 2015 Mazda 3.
Okay. Not too racy.
Yeah.
And then he also asked, how did you use split screen effect? So
Yeah. So
setup and everything.
yeah. So the short answer is I used 2 iPhones and a GoPro. So I used my brother-in-law's GoPro Hero 3 Plus, I believe, was the model, with an adhesive bracket stuck to the license plate. I then used my iPhone 12 Pro Max on a tripod that was bungee corded to the back seat to get the transmission shot. Bungee cords attached to the child restraint, child seat, hooks, and then also to the rails of the front seats.
I've got an ice cream delivery. Sorry about that.
Not at all. And then a third iPhone, which was my old iPhone 8 Plus, that I used to shoot minute movies on back, when I had that phone. Which I never, I decided not to part with because I had some sentimental attachment to. Fortunately,
it's a good use for an old phone.
Yeah, so I used that on a bracket that I acquired from somewhere, I forget where, that I managed to just tighten down to the bottom of the dash between the driver's legs. It was positioned very, very close to the driver's left leg, and so it was not the simplest thing also to shift without bumping the phone. In fact, on the replay, you might notice that on the last stop sign, where the driver locks up the tires a little bit, locks up the wheels before that stop.
Yeah.
They bumped the phone on the following shift. Presumably just out of being a tad flustered from locking up the brakes.
Well, it's a
The
fun film. I always loved your references to the archives, the historical references, that inspire your filmmaking.
Yeah.
And then your, all uh, the tips and tricks and like that you do that to enhance the experience. So I'm assuming you use what editing software do you use to
I use DaVinci Resolve.
okay,
Yeah.
like the multicam kind of sync everything up.
Well, so what I did was I honked the horn before the driver took off.
Oh, okay.
And then I used the soundtrack on all three to sync the three video signals.
Mm.
Just found where the horn peaked on all three. And
Manually. Did it manually?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good way to do it. Cool. Well, thanks a lot, Kirk.
Oh. Absolutely.
Thanks, Kirk.
Love to see your work. Glad you're back.
Thanks.
Yeah.
See ya.
Next time.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So let's see.
Right.
Peter's up.
Pull up my list. Yeah, we've got Peter, then Warner. All right. Adding you in. Hello?
Yeah, you got your lights still flashing. I was.
Yeah, what are your lights?
What are they?
Oh, your lights.
My lights, yeah. Well, Sarah didn't do anything this time, so I had to do all of it, and I didn't have time to put my fancy lights up. So that's blaming Sarah. So yeah.
I was just thinking about is my audio okay?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I was thinking about the lost art of shifting.
Oh yeah.
I've got a VW Jetta sport wagon with a 6-speed manual.
I love Volkswagen trannies.
And I actually learned shifting on a surplus Willys Jeep.
Oh, okay.
When I was 12.
With a granny gear.
Did
Willys have? Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it was
the ultra low gear.
Yeah.
4x4.
Yes.
Yeah, I learned on a few cars, all the cars. Beat up squareback, but also a 1966 Ford pickup. With a granny gear and.
With on the tree or on the floor?
It was on the floor. Yeah. And no power steering, so just had a bigger steering wheel. But,
Bigger arms.
Bigger arms. Well, they made the wheels bigger so you could, like
mechanical advantage.
Yeah.
And I also was thinking about Bullet with Steve McQueen.
Oh yeah.
And a really pretty obscure movie called Vanishing Point, which was like the early 70s. And it was this guy who was transporting cars across country. And he was making this attempting this record of getting a car. I think it was from somewhere in Colorado to San Francisco. And it was just this crazy. It wasn't a race. Well, it was a race against himself, really. But there was a lot of shifting and speeding around, and then of course there was also in Brewster McCloud, Robert Altman's film. Michael Murphy played a character that sort of was a parody of Steve McQueen in Bullet.
Hmm.
And I don't know. Whatever.
Well, I watched recently on Netflix the Formula One series. It's like super high end, like drama of like the people who have more money than than
Sense.
But it's quite the drama, like the reality TV at a high end, high stakes guys, testosterone driven. It's kind of, it's just this, yeah. Anyway.
Well, the Wachowskis did, I think before they transitioned, they did a remake of Speed Racer.
Oh yeah.
And it was sort of cartoony, but I mean, it was live action, and it was this crazy race around, I think it was Monte Carlo, whatever.
Mm.
And,
that was my favorite cartoon when I was a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, what do you got for us?
Yeah. I thought about two things this time. I had two directions I was going to go in, and one of them sort of became too complicated, and the other one was a job I had filming a friend of mine's performance. And he is also a sound engineer. And I was on another shoot a couple weeks ago and saw him setting up for that performance. He actually took apart a drum set and tuned it.
Oh wow.
And I was amazed at his the precision in how he approached audio. And so I asked him about the possibility of following him around setting something up for a performance. And it turned out he assembled a band of friends of his from the studio work that he's recorded. And so I was up there last week and basically shot clips for about 2.5 hours. And then the entire performance. And I was hoping to get him to do a voiceover about the whole concept of just constructing sound. And I got an email from him 2 days after his performance and said, I'm in bed with bronchitis and a collapsed lung. So,
oh crap.
So I abandoned the whole voiceover thing, and this became a series of clips of how you set up for a musical performance, and with the implication that these are the fine points in the craft of sound, hence the title, Craft of Sound.
Okay.
Awesome.
And also I have to do a slight disclaimer too on the length.
Guess it's a good thing we only had 3 submissions this time. If they're all slightly,
well, it's not. It's the I kept the essence, the whole focus of the film part to a minute.
So it says here, I'm looking at it, it's 2 minutes and 3 seconds. So
well, the extra minute at the end is credits. Plus, I had to let part of the song play out because I didn't want to cut it off.
Yeah, but as Kirk was saying, our criteria is
I know.
2 minutes.
I know, but I usually
Plus-
try and keep it to an exact minute,
Ah,
and then the credits at the end. So it's usually around a minute
okay.
20
So
to
you're a
20.
purist, and you're
Yeah.
feeling guilt for.
Well, I don't feel guilty, but I am a purist.
Fair enough. Fair enough. You're not
But
guilty.
anyway, that's play it.
Play it. Just play
All
it.
right.
Play
Here
it.
we go.
Sam.
Hey, Jared, if you want to tilt your amp in a little bit, just a few degrees. Gotta find something to put Tim.
So the only one that needs stands are kick, snare, and then 257.
Hey, who put a 58 on my vocal?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not doing hats or overhead. Just
Okay.
kick, snare, toms.
Okay.
Well, hopefully not.
One, hey, hey, ah, oh, we did that. That's why it sounded like that. 1, 2, hey, hey, ah, ah, ah. There it is. There's the head one.
My love is gone.
Okay, that'll do for start. Let's do it.
You're so sweet, you're so fine. I want you all and everything just to be mine. So my baby, so my love. Oh, girl, I'm just a cheap stuff for your love.
Fun. Yeah.
I
That
liked
still,
how
that still doesn't sound quite right. I don't know.
What do you mean?
It was sort of phasing and stuff, and it what I have on YouTube and here was the sound was better.
Okay.
I don't know. I tried this time going in through Chrome, which I think they suggested.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know what it is. Every time the sound is kind of weird at this end. Maybe it's just me.
Maybe
Yeah.
it's just our system and all
It could
the
be.
channels that everything goes through to
True.
get from here to there.
Goes out to Mars and back and all
Yeah.
around.
It does. Goes through my head and on the way to the router, and yeah.
Anyway, so hopefully that kind of suggested. I mean, I pulled. What was it? It was like 30 minutes of clips. And chopped it down to a minute.
yeah, I liked watching the setup as the main part of the film and then the credits rolling over the performance.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of cool how you can show quite a bit of what's going on in a short period of time.
Yeah.
And yeah, that would have been good if he had been able to talk, about some of the stuff that he was doing.
I thought about it afterwards, and it's like that's a really longer film.
Yeah.
I think the showing thing made more sense in this context. I know that his philosophy of audio would stretch way more beyond a minute. So
Yeah, for sure.
um,
Yeah. That's the challenge of a minute movie.
yes.
Have you seen the site? It's called 60-Second Docs. I think they're on Facebook and Instagram.
No.
And they do all kinds of documentary films in a minute, and that's pretty remarkable what they squeeze into that minute, and it really gives you a good solid flavor of their subject matters.
Well, that to me is the essence of what I've always assumed this is about.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah. So yeah, 60-Second Docs is cool. It's a good. I think they have filmmakers all over the place. Do they? I don't know. I know they have films that come from lots of different places around the world. But yeah, it's good.
Cool.
So it looked like a good party.
It was packed.
Yeah.
It's the Snapdragon Cafe on the island, which is kind of just south of the center of the town.
Okay.
And they've kind of become the go-to music place. There was the Red Bike bar that was closer to the center of town, and that became sort of a more family-friendly ice cream parlor kind of thing. But yeah, the Red Bike used to be the performance place, and they actually had a little more room. And I mean, both of these places now, Martin, the guy who was following, pretty much were consulted on getting the audio set up better in there. And I've recorded a couple different. There was a comedy show that was in there a couple weeks ago that I recorded, and another music thing within the last couple weeks that I recorded. And it's really pretty tight. I mean, I was like jammed against the wall. I had two cameras set up with me on this super tall Xxxxx tripod, so I could. The problem is you can't get anywhere without having people dancing in front of your camera.
Yeah, have to go over their heads.
Yeah, so I was against the wall and over their heads, and that's why I could get pretty much everything from there.
I built a kind of lift thing that with this triangular three little posts that are about high that help get my tripod up over the heads of crowds when I'm shooting behind a scene, a show or something. But it's good to have a tall tripod for sure.
And a strong one, because people keep kicking it.
Yeah.
I was about ready. Boom. You've kicked it 5 times now. You know it's there. Why don't you not dance there? But I didn't. I controlled myself. I'm getting control in my old age.
Finally,
10 years ago, you would have clocked the guy.
I would have. I probably would have taken my monopod and just bashed him over the head.
Or just prodded him.
What don't you understand here? Oof, oof. Yeah. Yeah, prodding. Poke him with the soft cushions.
So yeah.
Anyway.
Right on, man. Well, thanks for the little window into the nightlife on the island.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hopping out here.
Nice.
Not that
Never knew. Never knew.
Never knew.
There are a lot of things you don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Actually, there's this place called the Coop that is a privately owned music venue it's off in the woods, and it's by invitation only, and all kinds of stuff goes on there, music wise.
Okay.
Well,
Send me an invite sometime.
Well, I haven't gotten one.
Oh.
Although I did record we're doing a whole thing of island music history for the Heritage Museum. And we recorded our first interview there, and that was the first time I'd been there. So I think I will be back probably.
Get on the list somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's a cool venue up in Indianola called the Barn that you can get on the list. They have really good live music. Artists that are like doing like pro artists that do gigs, and then that's like the in between. Like if they have a couple nights layover, they'll do a gig there.
Keep the tone up.
Yeah.
Stay in practice. And actually, I have a friend who lives in Indianola, so maybe I'll ask about that.
I could send you the link. Get on the list. Yeah.
Get on the list.
Yeah.
Are you on the list?
It's kind of it's semi-private, you know. It's
yeah.
But
and now
cool beans, man.
About
it. I'm glad you're back in the saddle here with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to keep up with things. I've been.
Guess who I saw last week at SIF. And had a drink with afterwards. Mark Davidek.
Mark Davidek.
Oh.
Yeah.
Haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, I went to the experimental shorts and ran into him.
What is he doing?
What's that?
What is he doing now?
Same old. You know, he's letter carrier.
Delivering mail.
Yeah.
Trying to avoid Louis DeJoy's oppression.
Yeah. But anyway, I thought of him because he's also like you're old original, you know.
OG.
Yeah.
OG.
You were there at the first screening, and I think Mark was too.
He was pretty consistent for a long time.
Yeah, for about like 3 years or so, and then now he's consistently a no-show.
He's busy delivering the mail. I mean,
well, I tried to get him to talk him into coming back, but you know, he might. Yeah.
Cool.
So.
Well, we're glad you're still here.
Thanks. Me too. I will try to carry on.
Carry on. All right, man.
All right.
See you next time.
See you next time.
And
all right.
Warner's
Warner.
There he is.
All right. I'm adding you in.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Hello.
Hey, Jimmy.
All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Good to see you guys.
Good to see you too.
All right.
How's life in the
In the heartland,
in the heartland?
the Rust Belt. Yeah,
Windy
pretty good. To Sarah's point, it's been kind of on and off, but very sunny weekend, so got some outside time.
Nice.
Yeah. So we are keeping in mode here. And yeah, so pretty much kind of in line with the documentary approach, just some behind the scenes footage, this screening that kind of came to light in terms of the deadline approach. So that's kind of how we went about it.
All right.
Well,
Should we just show it then?
Yeah.
here we go.
Okay. Here we go.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so we'll just check to make sure that we can get this set up here in time. Oh, that's true. The cushion's probably been ripped up, at least 2 by the dogs. Let me just check these other 2 emails. Oh, nothing. Let me just respond to this client real quick. All right, let's get this done. Is you guys ready for your second walk? How about you? Are you ready? Yeah, we should probably gear up some of the items that we can cook out there.
Well, I'm putting everything back in the fridge. There's nothing.
All right, just got to run these errands. Then I can get back to the editing bay. Entries are due tomorrow afternoon.
Okay. You knew I couldn't spare you from some of those contorted face filters. So
Oh, God.
How
they
well
have to be part of it.
that
So.
movie.
Well, I'm glad that films don't have the odor, the smell part of it. Yeah, they haven't figured that part out yet. So
You know, I was going to go more into the poop scooping, but I'm like, you know what? That could be a separate production on itself.
yeah,
To
remind
truly
me.
experience it. Yeah,
Yeah, remind me to take that month off.
right. And you know what? I don't blame you. So again, chores, last minute deadline elements, balancing regular day-to-day life. But
What happened in the craft of filmmaking? You have to squeeze it in there.
voila. So
Yeah.
it was enjoyed putting it together.
So who are those people with the duck face? Are those relatives of yours?
Yeah, those are some of my alter egos that come to light. There's Jimmy, and then there's these folks. So there's a few people that we have to juggle the dynamic. But it was actually nice to take a break from Jimmy this month. So I like to sprinkle in some of these from time to time. So that was kind of the other thinking. It actually took me almost to the last week, really, the last few days down to the wire. And oftentimes I think we've talked about this before, I get more engagement on these types of clips, the irrelevant ones, versus some of the ones sometimes, on which I'm putting more thought and planning. So it just kind of shows you what is and isn't link click and what makes people compelled to open your content. And it's interesting, I think, as an experiment too.
That's true.
Yeah, for sure. You never know what's going to resonate with someone, and it could be the one you spent the least amount of time on, and then
Bingo. Because I know you guys love talking about central banks and learning about them. So yeah. So see what we got cooking.
Well, seems like we had a pretty good screening this month.
Yeah, it's great that you saw Mark too. I haven't heard his name in a while.
Yeah,
it's great.
It's fun to see him.
Maybe we'll get him back in the rotation.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah,
maybe I'll send him another little prod. Come on,
Sure.
Mark.
There you go.
Yeah.
Too
We
soon.
It's always fun to see who surfaces each week or each screening each month, if you will.
Yeah. Both Gene and Charlie had comments in the chat about making films. So maybe next month we'll get some films.
If we actually put the, update the
Update
meetup
the
page.
meetup page. Yes, that was my bad.
Yeah.
I like it. Excellent.
Send the reminder out to people that things are.
Yeah.
Got it. And by the way, did you think that was a different person in the beginning with a duck face? Maybe that wasn't very clear.
No.
Because I could see it would be weird towards the end when I'm in the car and I'm collecting animal waste. I was in my regular face.
Your regular face. You should have been in your duck face when you're, or some big nose.
I
face,
agree. That would have been probably more effective if I was kind of contorted. Yeah, picking up waste. But I'm living the dream with three dogs.
Oh yeah.
Excellent.
All right.
Right on, man. Well,
Thank
thanks
you.
again. Thanks again.
Thank you. Out.
Wow. Well, what would we do without our crew?
Yeah. Well, should we see what we'll do with them next month?
Yeah. Well, we're gonna.
Oh, we're gonna watch them all again, though.
We're gonna watch them all again.
All right.
Let's see. There's 6.5 minutes of film.
All 6.5 minutes of them. Let's do it.
Hey, Jared. Hey, Mark. If you want to tilt your amp in a little bit, is that just a few degrees?
I finished draft. Gotta find something to put Tim. So the only one that needs stands are kick, snare, and then 257s.
Hey, who put a 58 on my vocal?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, we're not doing hats or overhead.
Okay.
Just kick, snare, toms.
Okay.
Well, hopefully not.
One, hey, hey, oh, who did that? That's why it sounded like that. 1, 2, hey, hey, there it is. There's the head.
My love is gone.
Okay, that'll do for start. Let's do it.
You're so sweet, you're so fine. I want you all and everything just to be mine. So my baby, so my love. Oh, girl, I'm just the cheap stuff for your love.
Yeah, so we'll just check to make sure that we can get this set up here in time. Oh, that's true. The cushion's probably been ripped up at least 2 by the dogs. Let me just check these other 2 emails. Oh, nothing. Let me just respond to this client real quick. All right, let's get this done. Is you guys ready for your second walk? How about you? Are you ready? Yeah, we should probably gear up some of the items that we can cook out there.
Well, I'm putting everything back in the fridge, but nothing.
All right, just got to run these errands. Then I can get back to the editing bay. Entries are due tomorrow afternoon.
Short and sweet.
Short and sweet.
Yeah.
All right. Now are we ready to see next month's theme?
We are. And I didn't update this, so hopefully it doesn't come up with craft again. But I'll just spin it again if it does. You ready? Okay. Here we go.
Search.
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 Search. Huh. What are you searching for?
What are you searching for?
Huh.
Maybe Google can tell you.
Searching. Yeah.
Search. Hmm.
Huh. Interesting. I'm searching for something to say about that word. So, yeah.
Yeah. Get some good films.
Cool beans. Yeah.
Think we'll find anything in those films?
I don't know. We'll
just search.
Search. Yeah. Search doesn't mean you're going to find anything, but no. But it's in the journey. It's not the destination. So So maybe searching is what it's all about, not anything.
We'll find out next month.
We shall see. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks everyone.
Thanks everyone for hanging in there with us.
Hanging in there.
Yeah.
See y'all next month
See you next month.
for search. This time I will update the page. So if
Okay.
anyone who's not here, they'll know. Search.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Catch you later.
Bye.